if you want to be like somebody usually following what they do, it's a great chance. It's a great process to actually be in their position. All right. So, as an investor in the stock market, usually I will follow what the billionaires are doing, even though we know some of the moves they make are not really that smart moves given the access they have to information because they're part of the billionaire club. But usually, when you look at the market and you know based on your assessment and your research, if it does match what the billionaire is doing, it's just a confirmation that you're doing the right thing, you're on the right path. All right, because yesterday the Federal Reserve finally gave us some confirmation, some clarity, some visibility into what to expect for their game plan to fight inflation. We're going to have 6 interest rate hikes, including what they did yesterday for 2022, and potentially 5 additional ones in 2023. So we already know that inflation is going to be higher for the next 2 or 3 reports because of commodity prices went up based on what is happening between Russia and Ukraine, that we know. So that has put people into kind of a recession fear mode, which I don't really necessarily believe we're going to end into a recession. I made a video on that yesterday. I'm going to put it somewhere where I actually explain why and how to actually prepare for recession in case we have one. Now, the thing is, because we have this Federal Reserve move and inflation getting high and this geopolitical stuff, it's going to change the way the market conditions are going to be for the next 6 to 9 months. All right. And because of that, you need to start preparing now. And that's what I want to share with you in this video, what Warren Buffett did, which confirms what I've been sharing with you for the last 6 months and what is actually my game plan to hit $1 million worth this year. I'm talking about the oil sector. All right. I've been sharing with this. I'm sharing reasons on why you need to invest in oil stocks since November of last year, maybe even before that. But if you look at today, oil, it's hovering back again above $100 a barrel. And I don't think it's going to be the end or the top, like many people are saying, because it was already doomed. It was already expected that oil will be trading above $100 a barrel even before the Russian-Ukraine crisis came in the picture. This just added fuel to the fire. And as a result, the main gainers today are oil stocks. This is Devon Energy, Oklahoma City producer, Occidental Petroleum here in Houston, Texas, and Apache. All right, so gaining 9.697%. These are big gains. And if you look at all the oil sector today, it gained big time because the oil gained at some point 9%. This is huge. But by looking at what Warren Buffett did, he actually invested into Occidental Petroleum. This is the stock here, Occidental Petroleum. It bought $3.5 billion last week. And then a few days after, he bought again $1.5 billion. And today we had some news that he actually increased his stake in Occidental Petroleum to 14.6%. That is almost 15%. But remember, what is actually weird about this is the fact that when you look at the 5-year chart, he started investing and buying this stock here around the 56. All right. So 56 is just $10 away from what it used to trade before the pandemic started. All right. So it hasn't really went to the moon as opposed to another oil stock. All right. Because they didn't have a lot of liquidity on the balance sheet on hand as maybe a Devon Energy. But it is sitting at a very, very 52 weeks all-time high. It is trading very close to the all-time high of $59 a share. All right. Here, $59.60. But Warren Buffett bought it around the 56. He bought it somewhere here, and then it went down, 53, and today it popped again. So ask yourself this question. Why will Warren Buffett, who is $1 billion net worth, made entirely in the stock market, and his strategy is to buy and hold for the long term, because before buying into a company, he makes sure that this company is going to provide continuously cash flow, meaning even in an environment where money is going to be tight because of the Federal Reserve action, he's making sure that not only his money will continue to be growing, but on top of that, he's going to have passive income. So that's been the strategy for Warren Buffett ever since the last 30, 35, 40 years he's been in business. All right. So what does it tell us around what to expect for the economy to come? Well, because this is going to actually be a tighter money environment and in a high inflation environment. All right. It means that you need to position yourself in companies and in stocks that are actually going to continue to produce money. That's why tech stocks are going down, because tech stocks, for most of them, what we call the high growth stocks, they are not producing money yet, but people are buying them so much because in the next 5-10 years, they're going to be giants. They're going to be the Netflix or the next Amazon. So, but when money is tight, like it's going to be in 2022 and potentially 2023, it makes sense to move to what we call the cyclicals. So here's another confirmation. Energy stocks have rallied amid a king in global supplies. There is plenty of upside remaining. So even though you think this might be the highest or the all-time high for this year for a stock like Occidental Petroleum, which Warren Buffett just increased his stake on, I mean, it has the potential of going back up here to the $68 or maybe to the 70, the 80. Why? Because these are precisely the times in 2018 where oil was trading around the numbers we're seeing here today. And that's why I believe Warren Buffett made this move, because it makes sense. It makes sense now to be invested in such a stock for the next year or for the next 1.5 years. All right. So if you are interested into knowing which other stocks you can actually add to your portfolio or which ETF, here is another list of 17 other stocks you can actually buy in order to have not only your money growing, but passive income. And I've been sharing on a bunch of these on latest videos. So just to tell you that, please don't ignore the oil sector. Don't ignore oil stocks as we head into the later part of 2022 and definitely 2023, because even without the crisis in Russia, oil was already supposed to be trading higher, $100 a barrel.